So good day, everyone, and welcome to our course, DPA 705, Advanced Personnel Management and Organizational Behavior. Okay, a doctoral level academic experience designed to deepen your understanding of how people, systems, and institutions interact to shape organizational outcomes. No? See, this course stands as a core pillar of a Doctor of Public Administration program because it merges two crucial dimension of governance, no? The human resource systems and human behavior into one analytical framework. So imagine that. No? Public sector organizations today operate in environments defined by rapid technological shifts, no? Evolving workforce expectation, and increasing demands for accountability. As future senior leaders, it is imperative that you develop the ability not only to manage personnel effectively, but also to understand the behavioral dynamics that influence performance, collaboration, and institutional culture. So this course equips you with frameworks that allow you to engage both strategically and critically with real-world challenges. No? So the discipline of personal management has significantly expanded in scope, now encompassing workforce analytics, talent architecture, digital recruitment system, and evidence-based decision making. No? Alongside this, organizational behavior provides the behavioral lens through which we interpret individual motivation, team dynamics, leadership effectiveness, and organizational culture. Together, these domains form a comprehensive approach to public sector human capital governance. Throughout the semester, you will be expected to integrate theory with practice. So applying conceptual frameworks to contemporary policy and administrative issues. Now, many of our discussions will draw from current reform initiatives, no, civil service regulations, global leadership models, and organizational case studies. So this ensures that your learning remains relevant to the evolving landscape of public administration. So through engaging with this course, you move closer to the competencies required of high-level public administrators. Strategic thinking, no, analytical rigor, ethical leadership, and the capacity to manage people-centered reforms. No? And I look forward, no, to guiding you through this intellectual journey. And I encourage you to approach its session with curiosity, discipline, and commitment to scholarly excellence. No? So okay, allow me to formally introduce myself. No, I am Dr. Marmilo Abante, your professor to this course, and my academic background spans a wide range disciplines, beginning with undergraduate degrees in computer science and IT, computer engineering, multimedia, and others. Now, this foundation actually provided me a multidimensional perspective on organizational system, technological structures, and human behavior. No? So my early academic formation is both technical and professional fields has enabled me, no, to understand the complexity of institution and the multifaceted nature of organizational operations because the convergence of computing, engineering, arts, and social sciences has strengthened my ability actually to analyze systems holistically and to approach public administration challenges through interdisciplinary frameworks. No? So, as an educator and administrator at the same time, I have seen how the diversity of academic exposure contributes to nuanced leadership. No? When managing people, systems, or institutional reforms, one must draw from a wide spectrum, no, of knowledge domains. No? And this perspective informs the way I design and deliver this course, grounded in rigor, shaped by interdisciplinary insight, and aligned with global standards or public sector excellence. It is my hope that my background provides assurance that the discussions in this course are informed not only by theory but the life's experiences of working across various institutional settings. So the richness of learning comes from weaving together these multiple standards of expertise, which in turn deepens our collective understanding of personal management and organizational behavior. As we begin the course, I encourage you to reflect on your own multidisciplinary strengths, and the contemporary public administrator must be versatile, agile, and informed by a broad intellectual foundation. Together, we will explore those. We will explore how characteristic translate into, or these characteristics, no, translate into effective human capital governance and organizational leadership. At the graduate level, no, my academic journey expanded further into specialized and leadership-oriented domains. I hold graduate degrees, of course, in different field, no, and advanced studies in public administration provided me with a rigorous grounded in institutional analysis, no, administrative theory, and public sector management. These are particularly relevant to the content of this course as they inform how personal system interact with bureaucratic structure and governance frameworks. No? My training in business administration and public administration contributes to understanding of strategic management, financial system, and organizational competitiveness. No? Modern public sector institution increasingly require administrators who can engage with both the managerial and behavioral aspect of organizations, demonstrating accountability not only to regulatory mandates but also to performance expectation. So, my graduate level background reflects a continuous pursuit of learning rooted in academic rigor and a professional relevance. No, in this regard, it is this integrated expertise that I bring into our course discussion, ensuring that your learning is not only theoretically robust but uh, also attuned, no, to real world administrative landscape. No? Okay, so of course, doctor of public administration broadens the capacity, no, to understand governance processes, institutional reform, and administrative complexities. No, through this lens, advanced HRM becomes not merely, no, a management functions but a governance imperative affecting service delivery and public trust. Okay, so may honorary doctors represent recognition of work in fields such as law, data science, innovation, business, tourism, and artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and computer engineering. Now, as your professor, I bring this varied academic and professional and honorary perspective into our collective learning journey. They provide actually a broad foundation upon which we will build advanced understanding of personal system and behavioral dynamics in public sector. Okay, so this course offer a comprehensive exploration of personnel or advanced personnel management within the broader context of organizational behavior, preparing you for complex decision-making rules in public sector governance. It examines the evolution of personnel management into strategic human capital frameworks, emphasizing how organizations must adapt to regulatory expectation, digital transformation, and shifting workforce demographics. The course set the foundation for a rigorous academic journey grounded in both theory and applied administrative practices. No? Modern public institutions operate under heightened expectation of transparency, accountability, and performance efficiency. And this necessitates a strategic approach to human resource management, one that moves beyond administrative compliance and toward fostering an organizational culture of excellence and innovation. So through understanding the connections between personal policies and organizational outcomes, you gain the competencies required to drive sustainable institutional improvement. So organizational behavior complements personal management by offering a behavioral lens through which to analyze employee motivation, leadership influence, group dynamics, and institutional culture. Understanding this behavioral dimension enables administrators to interpret organizational challenges more accurately and implement intervention that enhance workforce engagement and productivity. The content of this course integrates this perspective to form a unified approach to public administration. Now, the strategic performance management uh, is another critical component emphasized in this course. No, it requires administrator to design systems that measure not only individual and team contributions, but also your alignment with institutional mission and performance indicators. When performance metrics are effectively integrated with behavioral insights, organizations can better address capability gaps, no, and foster a climate conducive to a continuous improvement. No? This course empowers you to evaluate, design, and implement advanced personnel systems that are responsive to organizational needs and adaptive to future challenges. Through case studies, analytical tasks, and policy discussions, you will be able to navigate the evolving landscape of human capital governance. These course descriptions therefore encapsulate the academic depth, practical relevance, and leadership orientation that define DPA 705. No? So the course intended learning outcomes articulate the competencies you are expected to attain by the end of the semester. And these outcomes guide the sequencing of lesson, no? Assessment strategies, and learning activities, ensuring that the course remains coherent, purposeful, and aligned with doctoral level expectations. So their central purpose is to bridge theoretical understanding with high-level administrative practice. No? One of the essential learning outcomes focuses on ability to critically analyze theories and frameworks in personal management and organizational behavior. No? Doctoral student must demonstrate mastery of these theories not merely through recall, but through the capacity to apply, critique, and contextualize them within public sector challenges. These outcomes ensures that you develop advanced theoretical fluency. Another outcome emphasizes designing evidence-based HR no? uh, strategies no? aligned with organizational goals. No? This reflects the modern expectation that public administrators must rely on data-driven insights and performance indicators when formulating human resource policies. Such strategic alignment enhances institutional efficiency and ensures that personnel systems contribute meaningfully to organizational mandate fulfillment. The outcome also highlight the importance of diagnosing individual, team, and organizational behavior. This diagnostic ability allows administrator to identify root causes of performance issues, moral concerns, and structural challenges. No, it's in environments characterized by complexity and limited resources, accurate diagnosis is indispensable to sustainable reform. Together, these outcomes no, construct a comprehensive framework for scholarly and practical growth. They ensure to navigate senior leadership roles in public administration and the outcomes that serve not only as academic benchmark but as a professional readiness indicators. No? The remaining intended learning outcomes further strengthen your leadership capability by emphasizing ethical governance, technological adaptability, and reform-oriented decision-making. Ethics play a pivotal role in personal administration, particularly in public sector, where decisions affect public trust and organizational integrity. No? And this outcome ensures that students internalize ethical frameworks when applying HR strategies. Technological fluency is another fundamental component of modern human resource practice. No? As digital recruitment tools, workforce analytics, and AI-assisted decision systems become more prevalent, no? Administrator must be able to evaluate their implications for efficiency, equity, and accountability. So the learning outcome on emerging technologies ensures that the students are prepared for the digital future of human capital governance. No? Leadership in public administration requires the ability to manage conflict, no? Negotiate effectively, and lead organizational change. These behavioral and interpersonal skills are essential in implementing personal reforms no? and ensuring that transition occur smoothly and with minimal resistance. The learning outcomes explicitly integrate these competencies to cultivate to cultivate adaptive and resilient leaders. Another intended outcomes focuses on institutional learning, no? And research-driven policy development. Doctoral student must be able to synthesize data, research findings, and organizational indicators into actionable reform proposal. The competency position students to contribute to public sector innovation and evidence-based governance. So collectively, these outcomes represent a high-level competency framework tailored for future public sector executives, administrators, and policy leaders. They ensure that upon course completion, you possess the intellectual, ethical, and strategic foundations required to lead human resource and organizational behavior reforms in diverse institutional contexts. Now, so the course content provides a structured pathway through the major themes of personnel management and organizational behavior. It begins with fundamental concepts that define the scope, purpose, and evolution of this discipline. So understanding this theoretical foundation allows students to contextualize contemporary HR practices within broader historical, regulatory, and organizational development. So one major component of the course content includes the study of job analysis, workforce planning, recruitment system, and selection processes. And this represent the core functions of personnel management, no? Recruitment system, and selection processes. No? This represent the function of personnel management, and their effective execution, no, significantly influences in organizational performance. So mastery of these areas equip you to evaluate whether existing systems align with institutional mission and operational needs. Training, development, and performance appraisal are additional focal points, no, in the course content. These topics are essential in ensuring workforce capability, engagement, and continuous improvement. You will learn how to design development programs, performance metrics, and competency-based assessment tools that support organizational excellence. The integration of organizational behavior topics, no, such as motivation, leadership, communication, and group dynamics deepens the understanding of how individuals in teams functions within bureaucratic structures, and these behavioral insights are necessary for crafting effective personnel policies and for resolving workplace challenges. No? So this first portion of the course content lays the intellectual groundwork upon which advanced discussion will take place. It ensures that all of you share a common conceptual framework before moving toward higher level analysis and application. And this structured approach promotes academic coherence and support progressive learning. The second portion of the course content transition into advanced discussion, beginning with strategic human resource management, workforce analytics, and competency-based system. These topics reflects the shift from traditional personnel administration toward modern, performance-driven human capital management. So you will examine how HR strategies can support organizational mission, reform agendas, and service delivery outcomes. No? Another major theme is our organizational culture and change management. Now, public sector organizations frequently undergo restructuring, policy shifts, and modernization efforts, making change management a critical skills for administrators. So the course content explore the factors influencing resistance to change, strategies of managing transition, and the role of leadership in fostering a culture of adaptability. So conflict management, negotiation, and organizational politics also form part of the advanced content. No? Public institutions operate in politically charged environments where conflict is common and often unavoidable. No? So understanding the behavioral dynamics of conflict enables administrator to make informed decision and maintain organizational stability. Technological advancement, including HR information system, digital learning platforms, and AI-assisted decision-making form a significant part of contemporary HR discourse. So the course provides a framework for evaluating the benefits, the risk and the ethical implication of these technologies in human resource management. So through covering these advanced topics, no, the course ensures that you acquire a comprehensive understanding of both fundamental and emerging issues in personnel management and organizational behavior. And this prepares you to assume leadership roles that require strategic insights, analytical sophistication, and behavioral intelligence. So the class list is presented in this slide, formally introduces the composition of our academic cohort for the semester. Recognizing the you who comprise the class reinforce the collaborative learning environment that we aim to cultivate in graduate level education. So you brings unique professional experiences, disciplinary perspectives, and administrative insights that contribute to the collective richness of our discussion. And as a doctoral student, you are expected to engage not only with course content, but also with one another as partners in advanced scholarship. Now, the class list serve as a reminder that your intellectual journey this semester will be enriched by collegial interaction, share reflections, and critical dialogue. No, the diversity represented in this group will enhance the depth and breadth of our analytical work. No? In public administration, human capital is essential resource. Likewise, in this academic setting, the collective wisdom of the class forms the intellectual capital upon which we build our learning community. Each of you will contribute to the discourse through presentation, case analysis, and research and narrative reflection that bring theory to life in practical context. So the class list also signifies accountability and academic commitment. As member of this doctoral cohort, you are expected to uphold academic integrity, to demonstrate professionalism, and participate actively in scheduled coursework. No, graduate studies demand a high level of discipline, no? And your names on this list represent your commitment to that responsibility. So this slide symbolizes the beginning of a professional and scholarly partnership. Throughout the term, you will learn not only from the lectures and reading, but from the insights, critics, and contribution of your peers. No? Together, we form a scholarly community dedicated to advancing the principle and practices of public administration. Okay? So the topic presentation assignment is a major academic requirement designed to evaluate your capacity to synthesize theoretical concept and apply them to contemporary issues in a personal management and organizational behavior. This task reflects doctoral level expectation of deep analysis, no critical reasoning, and the ability to communicate complex ideas effectively. So in this assignment, each student will be responsible for presenting an assigned topic from the course content. No? The presentation should demonstrate a thorough understanding of theoretical foundations supported by relevant scholarly literature and practical example drawn the public sector institutions. The goal is to foster peer learning through clear, rigorous, and well-organized exposition. So this task also encouraged the development of academic communication skills, no? An essential competency in the field of public administration because effective communication is fundamental for leaders who must articulate policy recommendations, advocate reforms, and facilitate organizational change. So your presentation will therefore serve as both an intellectual exercise and a professional development opportunity. In preparing for your assigned topic, you are expected to use credible and up-to-date references, including books, peer-reviewed journals, articles, and institutional reports. So the preparation should reflect respect for academic integrity, proper citation practices, and adherence to scholarly standards. Depth of analysis is prioritized over the quantity of slides. So this assignment is intended to cultivate leadership in scholarly discourse. No? Through your presentation, you will contribute to the academic environment of the class while refining your own ability to analyze and communicate complex organizational issues. So the lessons gained from this exercise will serve you well in your research, no, professional roles, and future administrative responsibilities. No? So the textbook identified for this course represent foundational and contemporary literature in personnel management and organizational behavior. No? And these works are well established in graduate education and are widely used in the public administration, business administration, and human resource management programs worldwide. No? They provide the theoretical grounding necessary for advanced academic inquiry. Textbooks such as, of course, the Armstrong handbook, no, and so on. So, and Rubens and Judge, no, organizational behavior, open comprehensive discussions of HR frameworks, no? So each prescribed textbooks is chosen for its authenticity, relevance, and academic value. So their contribution extend beyond theoretical exposition. They also open case studies, practical insights, and research-based discussions that help contextualize concept within real world administrative setting. This alignment ensures that your learning remains both rigorous and applicable. No? So at the doctoral level, textbook serves as important starting points for scholarly exploration. You are encouraged to engage with them critically, no, comparing their perspective with the, journal articles, policy documents, and organizational reports. So this multidimensional engagement strengthen your ability to synthesize information across multiple resources. No, a key skill, no, in advanced public administration. So these textbooks from the backbone of your academic toolkit for DPA 705. They support your understanding of strategic HRM, organizational behavior, performance management, and leadership competencies necessary for public sector governance. Your mastery of these materials will strongly influence the quality of your academic outputs throughout the course. So the reference list provided in this slide consists of essential scholarly materials that reinforce the theoretical and practical dimension of the course. And this reference include peer-reviewed books, seminal authors, and contemporary publications that shape the study of personnel management and organizational behavior. Their inclusion signals the academic rigor expected at the doctoral level. The second set of references further expand the scholarly foundation of this course by incorporating advanced and specialized literature. Authors such as Nordhaus contribute to leadership theory as essential component, actually, of understanding behavioral or organizational behavior and personal management in public administrators and in context. No? So the references listed across both slides establish a comprehensive academic foundation upon which in this course is built. They represent the standards of excellence required in doctoral scholarship and serve as guide, yes, for your academic and professional development throughout the semester. So expectation for graduate level learners in this course are grounded in the principle of academic excellence, professional integrity, and scholarly discipline. Now, as doctoral students, you are expected to engage with the course content proactively, consistently, and reflectively. So this include completing all assigned readings, participate in scheduled asynchronous session, and preparing high-quality outputs that demonstrate mastery of concepts in personnel management and organizational behavior. No? So our expectations are designed to uphold the standards of doctoral scholarships, compliance with course requirements, respect of academic integrity, and the commitment to intellectual excellence are vital for your success. As future leaders in public administration, your performance in this course reflects not only academic competence but also professional readiness. Okay? So, to succeed in this course, you must have access to essential technological tools and academic resources. No, a working laptop or desktop computer is required as the nature of the coursework involves research writing, multimedia presentation, virtual discussions, and engagement with digital learning platforms. Mobile devices may provide supplementary access but are not sufficient for completing major academic requirements. No? So the required materials serve to support your academic success and facilitate your engagement, no, in advanced scholarship. So adequate preparation ensures that you are equipped to meet the expectation of the course and excel in the intellectual demands of doctoral level study in public administration. So the course evaluation framework is designed to assess your mastery of advanced theories and applications in personal administration, management, and organizational behavior. So it employs a combination of major examination, published research, case studies, narrative analysis, and presentation. It's contributing to a holistic evaluation of your academic performance. So this structure aligns with doctoral level expectation that emphasize both theoretical understanding and applied competencies. And one of the major component is the pre-recorded video presentation, which serve as the preliminary examination. And this requirement evaluates your ability to articulate complex theories, synthesize scholarly sources, and communicate ideas in clear and structured manner. It reflects the increasing importance of digital communication skills in modern academic and professional environments. No? So the evaluation process culminates in the final examination, no? And your published research, no? Which synthesizes the full breadth in course content. So each assessment component works collectively to measure not only your knowledge, but all your analytical abilities, communication skills, research, and leadership readiness. So this multi-layered approach ensures a comprehensive evaluation of your competencies. No? So the grading system, and as we conclude this orientation, it is essential to recognize that DPA 705 is not merely an academic requirement, but an opportunity to elevate your leadership capacity in public administration. So the course content, expectation, and evaluation frameworks have been designed to challenge your intellectual, strengthen your analytical skills, and enhance your professional competence. So this course requires diligence, discipline, and commitment to scholarly excellence. So the complexities of personal management and organizational behavior demand deep reflection, continuous study, and a readiness to engage with diverse perspectives. So these academic habits are essential not only for course success, but for your future roles as leaders and reforms advocates. So throughout the semester, we will explore theoretical construct, examine organizational realities, do research, and develop practical insights that will guide you administrative decision making. So each lecture, discussion, and assignment and research is intentional structure to support your intellectual growth and strengthen your ability to manage people-centered reforms in public administration. So guys, no, students, doctors, your active participation and truthful engagement will significantly shape the academic environment we cultivate together. So doctoral learning is inherently collaborative, and your contributions as researchers, practitioners, and future administrators will enrich the experience for the entire cohort. Now, I look forward to working with each of you as we embark on this rigorous academic journey. May this course serve as the catalyst for your growth as scholars and leaders, equipping you with the knowledge, with the skills, and with insight required to advance meaningful change in the field of public administration. Okay? So, thank you so much. And looking forward for a fruitful and uh, insightful semester.